Big and Tall Investigations, the toughest and smartest to ever do it, with Big Deal and Tall Tale. Grab your popcorn. Their adventures are going to be electrifying.
Okay, let's go.
The Case of the Missing Diamonds. In the bustling city of Metroville, Big Deal, a sharp-witted, retired football player turned detective, was lounging in his office when his phone rang. Big Deal, we've got a situation. Tall Tale, his towering partner, exclaimed. Rob You Blind just pulled off a diamond heist at the Grand Jewelers. With a smirk, Big Deal replied, time to show that punk who's boss. They hopped into their sleek black car, the engine roaring like a lion. As they sped through the streets, Tall Tale reviewed the evidence. He left a trail of clues like breadcrumbs. Big Deal chuckled. Let's follow the crumbs, my friend. They arrived at a shady warehouse where they spotted Rob and his gang. Let's crash this party, Big Deal declared, ready for action. With a burst of adrenaline, Big Deal and Tall Tale stormed into the warehouse. Rob You Blind, furious at being interrupted, shouted, "Get them, boys!" A wild brawl erupted, fists flying and furniture crashing. Big Deal tackled one thug while Tall Tale disarmed another with his towering reach. "You're going down, Rob!" Big Deal yelled as the mastermind made a break for it. The chase was on. They dashed through the warehouse, leaping over crates and dodging punches. Rob sprinted out the back door, but Big Deal was hot on his heels. "You can't outrun justice," he shouted as they burst onto the street. Rob hopped into a getaway car, revving the engine. "Not so fast," Tall Tale yelled, leaping onto the hood of the car. With Tall Tale clinging to the hood, Rob You Blind swerved wildly, trying to shake him off. Big Deal, not one to back down, jumped onto the car's roof, fists clenched. "You're not getting away this time," he roared. Rob, panicking, sped toward a narrow alley, but Big Deal had a plan. "Hold on, Tall Tale," he shouted as he leaped off the roof and landed in front of the alley exit. With a swift move, he blocked the car's path. Rob slammed on the brakes, skidding to a halt. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered. "Watch this." He reached for a hidden weapon, but Tall Tale was quicker, disarming him with a swift jab. "Game over, Rob," Big Deal declared, cuffing him as the sirens wailed in the distance. With Rob You Blind in custody, Big Deal and Tall Tale emerged victorious, the sun setting behind them. "Another case closed, my friend," Big Deal said, grinning. "And we did it in style." Just then, two beautiful women approached, smiles lighting up their faces. "You guys were amazing," one exclaimed. "We'd love to celebrate with you." Tall Tale, blushing, replied, "We'd be honored." As they headed to a nearby cafe, laughter filled the air. Big Deal leaned back, satisfied. "You know, Tall Tale, it's not just about solving crimes. It's about the journey and the company you keep." Tall Tale nodded, raising his glass, to friendship, adventure, and always catching the bad guys. They clinked their glasses, ready for whatever the next case would bring.
The best advice anyone ever gave me was 2 words. You can't. And you know what my response was? 2 words. Watch me.
What up? Let me get up. All right, the full picture on stage here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's doing all right. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Clee Tillman, the host of Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. Yes, I'm Crimes Code of Ecclesiastics 302, the coldest code switching detective, King 360, and yes, you can spell my name CLEE. That stands for Continuing Law Enforcement Edutainment, because we entertain and we educate, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. This is going to be, the so-called Metaphors in Motion from Fables to the Frontlines. We're going to cover another Cleasops fable, and ironically, how it relates to what an officer told me earlier today during the shift, to their encounter that they had last shift. It's perfect. It goes hand in hand. So we're going to have the fable itself. We're going to have the storytelling. We're going to have how it relates, how it's viable today. And we also got to give a shout out to someone who's been in the law enforcement career for over 30 years. Just recently got promoted to admin. They gave me their information. I had to do what I could in the moment because I didn't have much time to get it together, but I made a miracle happen, because that's what we do over here. It's Ecclesiastics. So miracles happen. I see you, Nina. Thank you for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share. She's technically listening, but on her way to the school campus. I get it. Be safe. I understand. But this is the podcast Black and Blue, the podcast that airs at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we go live with either a first responder or a law enforcement official, whether they're seasoned rookie or a retiree, and we talk about their trainings, experiences, their publications. We're not going to fall short doing it, because we're streaming on how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6 different platforms. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. This will also be uploaded on the Spotify. So we're on many different platforms. So whichever one you're on, tag, like, share, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. The like button's free. I appreciate it. We're gonna have many videos, short ones, not too long. You guys saw the big and tall recap. Enjoyed making that. Again, I told you that's my new partner and myself. This one's going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more edgy, but starting to be safe isn't going anywhere. Same universe. But we got to see big and tall. We're going to revisit the goofball corner boy, back by popular demand. Got the explainer video here. Got the highlighted video again for Sergeant Stokes. So shout out to him. Did I cover everything? I believe so. We're on going to be uploaded on Spotify. You see it in the comment section, workwithclee.com. That's also where you can get a copy of a free ebook that's on there. That's the website. The website actually for One Way Publishing, which is the sponsor of this show and the sponsor of Sergeant Be Safe and Big and Tall. That's where you want to go to see any episodes, to download any free books, to get any free books. We're going to be talking about this book right here and the significance of this book for this weekend and this show. No Shade, All Light. This was actually my second book. It wasn't just from me. It was by Clarence Stokes, Herb Thompson, and Jason Brown. We co-wrote this book. It wasn't easy to do. It was four very busy individuals wrote this back in 2018. 25 of our favorite quotes and what they mean to us. So it's over 100 quotes in that book with definitions and meanings. It's still on Amazon for you to peruse and check out. It's one of my favorites. We often talk about another collab. Some of us have moved from one state to another since then. We've all been getting, some of us have promoted, others have worked different entities since then. So we've all been busy since then, that moment. So getting together was difficult then. Imagine how much more difficult it is, because we actually were very successful in the completion of this book. To finalize a book all by yourself is one thing. To do it with 4 different busy individuals was a whole different other monster that we had to tackle. But we're going to recap. I'm going to start off with the recap from last week, Cleasops Fable, and how I got to visit the 7th grade class of a principal who used to be my former teacher and coach, and invited me to his school to have a speech on resilience and professionalism. And with that, I got to share one of the stories, and one of the stories is going to be part of the recap here. So we're going to recap from last week, and then we're going to jump right into the show. All right, so stand by. Here we go. My 7th grade teachers, who recently passed, actually, and I don't think she meant it in spite or in a bad way, but she went around the room and asked what everyone wanted to be when they grew up. And I said I wanted to work for this township, the school that I was in, that township, that police department when I grow up. And she abruptly stopped me and said, yeah, you might want to try something different. I don't think that you're going to be able to make it, or you're not going to get hired with that township. And that's when the switch went off in my head that day. I remember that, and I said, now I know exactly where I'm going to work. I'm going to get hired for that township and work there. And so, of course, I'm in 7th grade. I grow up, and ideas change and things that go along those ways. I go in the Army and come back out. Then I go work for another small town department where I get hired with almost right out of the academy. Then I work part-time at another one, and lo and behold, I'm applying everywhere. I'm doing physical fitness tests and the written tests like every other weekend for like 2 years, I believe, maybe even 3. I'm applying. I'm doing everything I possibly can. And finally, this department, the first time I come in for an interview, actually, I didn't get hired. And this is back in the early 2000s. This is before the academy. The second time I came in, I got hired, and I thought it was a dream. My bad. I thought there was more to it than that. But yes, got hired by that department, and I got to go back and visit that 7th grade teacher. I got a major applause for that, for being resilient. And so in the recap, if you want to see the full interview, go check out last week's show. It's up on Spotify. It's up on YouTube as well, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you want that shout out that you're looking for, make sure you put your name and where you're from in the comments section. I'll give you the shout out that you're looking for. If you have a question, put that in the comment section as well. If you're on LinkedIn, for whatever reason, I can't post on there unless I go directly to the platform itself. Other than that, if you have a question there, you're going to have to put your name in the comment section. Sometimes the names do show up. Most times they don't. It just says LinkedIn user with no profile picture. So if you do make a comment, I won't be able to see who's on there. All right. But that was a story on defying the odds, because the odds were stacked against me. I was told that it wasn't going to happen, and, perseverance will shine through. All right. So that's the recap of last week. I want to jump in because, backed by popular demand, again, I appreciated the Goofball Corner Boy was able to produce a song about black and blue, Rob You Blind, Sergeant Be Safe, and the characters there. So I want to give him his just due in that shout out there. And we're going to jump right in. Right after that, we're going to jump into the fable, the Aesop fable that we're talking about. All right.
This is Sergeant Be Safe. Out here, you got to watch more than your step. You got to watch your circle. Goofball corner boy, you know the vibe. Yeah. Goofball corner boy, you know the vibe. Know the vibe.
Hey, stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind.
Rob you blind, smooth talk, slick shoe. Smile on his face while he pick your dudes. Misdemeanor got charm in her tone, but she'll twist your piece when you all alone. Treacherous Tony played both sides slick. Grin like a friend, but he moved too quick. And chance wild, a wild card, rolling the dice. Risking it all, never think twice.
Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind.
The fair still moves, silent at night. Look good doing wrong, look wrong doing right. But every test make your purpose shine. So keep your soul armored, stay divine. Oh, yeah. He don't chase villains, he chase vision. Teaching the block through real precision. Skits ain't comedy, they caution in prayer. Truth with a badge, love in the air. Microphone mission, blog in the zone. Sergeant Be Safe, never stand alone. Faith in the city, hope in the tone. He turned hard lessons into stone.
Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. Your streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind.
Remember their names. Rob You Blind, Misdemeanor. Treacherous Tony, Chance Wild, Safed Steel. They out there, but so's hope. Sergeant Be Safe. Stay aware, stay alive, stay faithful. Goofball corner boy, you know the vibe. This is Sergeant Be Safe.
Just the facts, ma'am.
All right, let me get out of the way. Here we go. I see you on here. Black Lab Leather Goods talking about the coldest. You know who the coldest is. The coldest code switching detective is right here. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna jump right in. You guys got to see the goofball corner boy. You guys got to see him last week. Again this week, back by popular demand. I love that song. I hope you guys do too. Again, shout out to them. Thank you for creating that song. I think it's terrific. You may see it again more and more down here on the podcast here. But we're going to move on to the Cleasops fable. We're going to talk about the Aesop's real fable first. It's called The Lion and the Mouse. This is the preference of the fable that we're going to be given. And we're going to talk about how, the almighty lions in the jungle, the king of the jungle, got razor sharp teeth, got razor sharp claws, can eat what he wants, kill what he wants. And he comes across, he's, doing his thing. He's enjoying the day. He's walking around the pride itself, getting to relax, getting to enjoy the sun, getting as much water as he wants, getting to do all the fun stuff that comes with being the king of the jungle. And so, lo and behold, the lion's getting done. He gets done eating. He's relaxing. He comes across a mouse who is stuck in a trap. And the mouse is talking to the lion. The mouse is very fearful. The mouse tried to steal what the lion was already eating. But right before it got stuck in that trap, it was nibbling on the crumbs that was left behind. And the lion, could have just bit his head off in one fell swoop, just sliced him open and went along his day and got rid of an annoying pest. A pest that's always around, something that's leeching from, something that's always needing something. But instead, he didn't do that. The lion showed a little mercy. The lion let him go. The lion even said, you know what? Any other day, I'd eat you for an appetizer. I'd have you out of my way, but I'm just going to let you go today. Go off, enjoy your family. Go off and do better things. Be a better scavenger than what you were here. Please find another way. And to the lion, it was just a, moment in time. To that mouse thought it was the biggest deal in the world because that mouse saw its life flash before its eyes. It recognized it and stopped taking chances, stopped taking risk and trying to scrounge up scraps and crumbs from the lion's den and do better and try and do it for themselves a little better. Okay, so the mouse goes off and realizes that, you know what, the lion did me a solid. I'm not going to bother the lion anymore, which I wouldn't either. All right. So further down this story, Lion's going about his business. He's going about his day. He's walking around the lake, enjoying the sun, enjoying the view, enjoying the hot air. And unbeknownst to him, a game of trappers catch him in a net. And these trappers are going to, they're going to behead him and stuff him and mount him with a taxidermist on the wall. These hunters, they're of course, the gun is mightier than the actual physical force of a lion because you can shoot, aim, fire, and the lion's pretty much caught. But the lion's caught in the net. And the lion's brought up. The hunters got him in the net. They're brought up. They put him on the truck, for lack of a better term, to transport them back to where they need to start doing the process. Okay. And in the process of that, this same mouse out of nowhere sees that the lion's trapped. The lion is trying to fight. The lion's fighting ferociously, trying to bite at the net, cannot do it, trying to claw at the net, cannot do it, has been tranquilized, so in a very weakened condition, so the lion can't escape. And so the mouse, out of all things, is the one that can sneak past the hunters, isn't even deemed a threat, isn't even a trophy killing for the hunters, so can get past the hunters, can get to the lion. And the mouse talks to the lion, hey, why can't you get out of here? I'm in a weakened condition. I can't get through the nets. Even if I do break the nets, the hunters are going to come after me. So lo and behold, the mouse starts gnawing at the net, and it gets one second opening, and enough time to where the hunters are actually taking a break. They're drinking, they're filling alcohol, they're having their fun, where the mouse is able to gnaw a big enough hole where the lion can escape while the hunters are preoccupied doing something else and creep out back to through the wood line and get back to the pride. So therefore, because that lion saved that mouse, the mouse was able to rethink life, come back and save that lion, and both of them were able to live, in harmony, to the point where it was a cyclic event where one, if the lion would have killed the mouse, the lion would have gotten captured and be on someone's wall as a trophy. But the lion let the mouse go. The mouse saw the problem, and instead the mouse was able to rescue the lion. The lion and both of them were able to go off and make sure they live better lives and basically were not killed in the process. So that, I know it's not the exact rendition, but that's the rendition of the Aesop fable, The Lion and the Mouse. And I remember reading one of these fables, these books when I was younger, did reports on them and how they applied to life. And reading them back in maybe first or second grade, it didn't make sense to me. I understood the caricatures of the lion. I understood the mouse, but I didn't understand how, the big bad lion couldn't come by and not just stomp on the mouse and be happy with it. And if he gets caught, why can't he just free himself? But the story comes full circle when it's explained, and being explained like that, I'm gonna show an explainer here that how it explains to law enforcement and how it relates to it, because there's always some sort of symbolism in the metaphor. And so I want you to see how that's the original story. We're going to see how it transitions to the metaphor. Then I'll give you the explainer on what I heard today, just in conversation through an active duty police officer. All right, here's the explainer.
The Officer and the Thief, a modern fable of kindness and redemption. In the realm of law enforcement, stories of heroism and redemption often intertwine with lessons of kindness and the unexpected ways in which we can impact one another's lives. This story presents a modern fable featuring Sergeant B. Safe, a highly intelligent and charismatic African-American police officer whose heroic feats and charming demeanor win the admiration of both his colleagues and the community he serves. Accompanied by his trusted partner, SWAT officer Clay Moore, and the unpredictable Captain Chaos, the story explores the timeless moral that kindness never goes unnoticed, and that even the smallest acts can yield significant consequences. On a warm summer evening in the bustling city of Maplewood, Sergeant B. Safe patrolled the streets, keeping an eye out for any trouble that might arise. With his tall stature, muscular build, and a warm smile, he was a reassuring presence in the neighborhood. Residents admired him not only for his physical prowess, but also for his intelligence and wisdom. As he walked, he provided safety tips and engaged with the community, reinforcing the bond between law enforcement and the public. However, not everyone in Maplewood shared B. Safe's vision of a peaceful community. Lurking in the shadows was treacherous Tony, a small-time thief with a reputation for cunning and deceit. Tony had a troubled past and resorted to petty crime to survive, often using his wits to manipulate those around him. One fateful evening, while attempting to steal a bicycle, Tony inadvertently crossed paths with Sergeant B. Safe. As B. Safe approached, Tony panicked and tried to hide behind a nearby bush. However, the officer's keen eyes quickly spotted him. "Hey there, buddy," B. Safe called out, his voice calm and reassuring. "What are you doing back there? Why not come out and talk to me?"
Caught in the act, Tony emerged slowly, his heart racing with fear. I just wanted to borrow it," he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. He knew he was in serious trouble, and the consequences of his actions weighed heavily on his mind. Sergeant B. Safe studied Tony carefully, his expression a mix of disappointment and understanding. "You know stealing isn't the way to go, right? There are better paths you can take," he said, his voice firm but kind. "But I'm not going to arrest you today. I want you to think about your choices." Tony's eyes widened in surprise. "You're letting me go?" he asked, incredulous. "But I stole from you, not from me." "You stole from someone else," B. Safe corrected him gently. "I believe everyone deserves a second chance. Use this moment to reflect on what really matters." Grateful but confused, Tony nodded. "Thank you, officer. I promise I'll do better. I'll find a way to make it right." As the days turned into weeks, Sergeant B. Safe continued his patrols, always on the lookout for those in need of guidance. Meanwhile, Tony struggled to turn his life around. He found odd jobs, trying to earn an honest living. But the shadows of his past loomed large. Despite his best efforts, he felt trapped in a cycle he could not escape. One fateful night, a gang of thieves descended upon Maplewood, causing chaos and fear. Their leader, notorious for his brutality, had set his eyes on the local bank. As the gang executed their plan, B. Safe received a call about the robbery in progress. Instinctively, he rushed to the scene with his partner, SWAT officer Clay Moore, and their unpredictable ally, Captain Chaos, known for his unconventional methods, but unwavering commitment to justice. When they arrived, they found themselves outnumbered. The gang members, armed and aggressive, surrounded them, ready to pounce. B. Safe and Clay fought bravely, using their training and intellect to defend themselves and protect innocent bystanders. But they soon realized they were in over their heads.
Just as the situation seemed dire, a familiar figure emerged from the shadows. It was treacherous Tony. He had been walking home from one of his odd jobs when he heard the commotion. Despite his past, he felt a strong urge to help the officer who had shown him kindness. Motivated by gratitude and a newfound sense of responsibility, Tony rushed to assist B, Safe, and Clay. Using his knowledge of the neighborhood and his agility, Tony devised a plan. He darted around the gang members, drawing their attention away from the officers. "Hey, over here!" he shouted, leading them away. This distraction allowed B, Safe, and Clay to regroup and strategize. With Tony's help, the trio worked in tandem to outsmart the gang. B, Safe, coordinated the effort, while Clay provided tactical support, and Tony, using his nimbleness, maneuvered through the chaos, creating openings for the officers to disarm the thieves. Captain Chaos, fueled by his unpredictable nature, executed a series of unconventional tactics that kept the gang off balance, contributing to their eventual defeat. In a matter of moments, they had subdued the gang, and with backup from fellow officers, the situation was under control.
As the dust settled and the gang was apprehended, Sergeant B. Safe turned to Tony, a proud smile on his face. "You did good, kid. You showed that even the smallest act of courage can make a difference." Tony, realizing the significance of his actions, nodded, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. "I wanted to help you because you helped me. Kindness really does go a long way." With a nod of appreciation, Clay added, "We all have a role to play, no matter our past. It's how we choose to move forward that defines us." The moral of this modern fable is clear. Kindness is never wasted, and even those who may seem insignificant can become heroes in their own right. Through Sergeant B. Safe's compassion, Tony's determination, and the teamwork of Claymore and Captain Chaos, we learn that redemption is possible, and that every act of kindness, no matter how small, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. In the world of law enforcement and beyond, this timeless lesson endures, reminding us all of the power of compassion and the potential within each of us to change lives for the better.
See the story on compassion and showing grace, and how, not arresting treacherous Tony for stealing a bicycle. And I'm pretty sure there was a deeper meaning with that. Not just he had to probably do some sort of community service, or let the owner know that, or the owner did some sort of waiver or whatever it may be. So therefore, because he showed a little grace and compassion, he let him go, theoretically, and Tony was able to return the favor in moments where Sergeant B. Safe and Claymore and Captain Chaos needed it the most. And since he was an unsuspecting ally, they had the upper hand, they had the edge, and that goes hand in hand with the story that we just talked about before with the lion and the mouse. You show just a little bit of favor, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of gratitude. It goes a long way. You don't know how it's going to come back to affect you, but it affects you in a more positive way than you actually gave out. So having a conversation today, I was talking with an active duty officer. I'm going to dumb the story down a little bit so I don't say any names or say any places to actually give up any kind of actual incident. So now, on-duty officer had a conversation with me earlier today, and I just hit the button. I hope not. And they said, having a conversation, they were called to a local establishment, a restaurant, where one of the employees was actually stealing from the cash register. And that individual got dispatched to that location and spoke to the store owner, the store manager. And the store manager was like, "Yeah, this is the person. He's here right now. This person has been stealing from me, been stealing right out, and robbing me blind, literally, while working here." And so the officer went and confronted the individual and like, "Hey, did you do this? I mean, you might as well come clean. Got you on camera, got you red-handed. Probably got some of the funds in your pockets right now. And after a little bit of table tennis, verbal judo, the bad guy, or lack of a better term, the other employee came clean. Said, yes, I've been doing this, been down on my luck. It's been easy opportunity for me to go ahead and take this, and I was taking it in small pieces to where I didn't think it was going to be noticed, but I still have to live life. I have to worry about my family and things like that. You know, the sob stories that we always hear. And so the officer showed a little compassion. The officer showed a not delegation, was able to think it through. You know, could I solve the problem by arresting this individual? Yes. Could I solve the problem by having a conversation and still making sure that the restaurant and the owner gets paid back? Yes. Having a conversation, yes. Hey, would you prefer to get your money back a lot sooner, or would you want to go through the process and have to pay the court fee or hire an attorneys or have to take off work to show up for any of that, which isn't a bad idea, which is it's a legal process. But to avoid all that, at least for this circumstance, why not just have this individual pay you the money back? So therefore, that officer didn't arrest that employee. The owner signed a waiver. The employee agreed to pay the owner back. And if the employee goes back on his word, then you can still revisit it and still get arrested. Okay. But the officer was telling me, like, yeah, I think I'm actually out here doing good work, because now that I didn't arrest this guy, for one, I made a friend. I built rapport with this guy. And if he is involved in this nefarious lifestyle, then for one, he owes me a favor. For two, I can get information. And three, we built a nexus of communication, because now this individual trusts me, because I didn't have to take them to the booking center, get fingerprinted, photographed, see a judge, any of that. We already rectified the situation. Therefore, again, this person is going to come back to me. So I don't know how it's going to come back to me, but I know it's going to come back, and it's going to the fruit from planting this seed is going to grow and mature into something a lot more bigger and better than what this situation was. And I mean, I know that's a dumbed down version of the conversation, not trying to give too much away, but that's exactly what we were just talking about. I told that officer that. I said, I'm going to feature that story in tonight's podcast, because it goes hand in hand with the Lion and the Mouse and Sorry to Be Safe and Treacherous Tony. And now this officer and that employee at that restaurant and the local establishment. And good things are going to come from it. I hope one day I can be on here and give the update on the podcast on exactly how that comes back, but it's going to come back tenfold. It's crazy to actually develop this line of stories. I've been doing it all week long, and then to come the day of, I get that information. I'm like, wow, you can't make this stuff up. So I had to share that story with you guys. Let me know what you guys think of all three of them: the Lion and the Mouse, Sergeant Be Safe, and Treacherous Tony, and the active duty police officer with the employee. Put it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Which one was better? Which one was worse? You see how they all connect, how they're all intertwined, and how a fable from years ago is relatable to things that are going on now, because it's the same foundations are there. We as human beings are still the same, essentially. We're just in different situations. So it goes hand in hand. I thought it was something to bring forward to you guys, let you guys matriculate on that and see. I like the active I like the active officer story. I wonder why. I'm glad you like that story. Absolutely. All right. And while you guys are putting your comments and information in there, we're gonna we're gonna get to part 2 of the podcast and what we're here for, because I know some of you are already waiting to find out on the promotion. So we're gonna discuss that. I got a video on that as well. I'm gonna talk about, give a little background index on that. But keep the thoughts coming, keep the comments coming. Make sure you tag, like, share, subscribe.
Black as you is, it's a whole lot of blue still shining through.
All right, we're transitioning on to the promotion. This is the promotion. We talked about the officer and the thief. Got to see the goofball corner boy defying the odds. Had the intro with Big and Tall investigations. Now we're going to move on to promotion of someone who is I've known since, I don't know, since maybe I was about 10. I've known this individual as being somewhat in law enforcement or a first responder most of my adult life. All right. This individual has been featured on the version of the podcast that was called The Lab, I think maybe twice, in the book Book's not behind me. Book, yeah, I took to the school. It's not behind me. But this individual is one of the co-authors of the book No Shade All Light that I was explaining at the beginning of the podcast. It's also on Amazon. This individual is near and dear to me, family. I got to see me grow, got to watch them grow, watch his kids grow, children grow. I'm being very vague as well. But he knows that I'm doing this feature. I wasn't able to see the promotion. Actually, I was taking care of some other law enforcement, first responder stuff all day yesterday. So therefore, that wasn't able to be made. But I remember a conversation that was had that when this individual was telling me that they wanted to become the highest level of law enforcement they could become. And this was years ago. This is maybe even decades ago. And this individual wanted to actually go off and make the world for the better. We all get in law enforcement for what we believe is the right reasons, and we want to leave the place better than we found it. This individual started off doing security as a paralegal, then doing security, then growing from security to law enforcement. Now this individual got promoted to lieutenant. All right. This individual is also a free and accepted Mason, Shriner, IOTA, if you know about fraternities, an author, business owner, husband, father, many different things, done a lot of things and knows still a lot of things on his plate that he wants to still take care of. And ironically, he gets the promotion of these four gentlemen, myself. And remember, I said Herb Thompson, Jason Brown, and Clarence Stokes. Clarence Stokes is the person I'm referring to right now. But he got his promotion yesterday. Jason Brown is going to be honored this weekend he's a prominent brother with a fraternity, one of the fraternities I mentioned. Herb Thompson is going to be honored as well this same weekend for being a charter member for the same fraternity as well. But so ironically, 3 of the 4 people who wrote the books have something major, game-changing going on this week. So I thought it not robbery to pull this book out. This book was created and authored back in 2018. We all came together again, wrote 25 of our favorite quotes and what they mean to us. So it's over 100 quotes in that book and our definitions for them. And they're going to be featured. The book itself is a combination of us. The 3 individuals, Clarence Stokes is featured right now. I'm going to pull his video up. Jason and Herb will be featured over the weekend at a gala, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all of us coming together again. I don't think all 4 of us have been together in the same room for a couple years. You know, we kind of moved on. So one of us has moved further down south. We've moved on to different things, but we were busy then. We're still busy now. This is awesome. Absolutely. I agree with you, Shayla. Yes, 100%. So I'm going to do less of me and more of the video that Lieutenant Clarence Stokes provided to me. He gave me the voiceover. I did everything else. Got to put it together right before this podcast. So it's going to flow. And he's going to explain a little things on what law enforcement, how his come of age of law enforcement. All right. And if you have any questions, I'll fill in right after, but I'm going to go straight to that. Here we go.
Started with the Pennsylvania Capitol Police, June 1993, as a security officer 1 on midnight shift. 1999, promoted to police officer patrolman. Went to the academy in May 1999. Came out the academy and went to 3 to 11 shift. I was on 3 to 11 shift for about a year. Then I got transferred to midnight shift where I was on patrol until 2005 when I made sergeant. Made sergeant, went back to 3 to 11 shift. I was the patrol supervisor. I was on that shift for approximately 2005 to 2009. And then I became the department's training sergeant. I was at the training sergeant from 2009 to 2023. And then I came to daylight shift, where I was the admin sergeant. When I was up the training sergeant. I developed the active shooter program and the crime prevention program, in which we are currently present now. And on October 11th, 2025, I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant for the 3 to 11 shift. I was acting lieutenant starting in February. So from February to October, I was acting lieutenant, and now I am the lieutenant for 3 to 11 shift. It's my 32nd year, going into my 33rd year.
And that's a quick highlight of what that is. You got to see in there. I got to put that together quick, so I had to come up with some pictures there. I wish I had more first responder and uniform pictures, but I just didn't. So I'm sorry I couldn't put all of them out there. You got to see some of the Masonic members. You got to see some of the Shriners in there. Got to see some of co-workers. You got to see the senator in there. His wife and kids were in there. I got to see pictures of a younger version of me, different capacities, I think, in church. In there, I think most of the ones you see were of me and him. We got to visit the Masonic Lodge in Philadelphia. Got to see some pictures in there. I remember I actually thought that he got promoted back in February. I didn't know he was filling the role. I automatically assumed that he was promoted. So when he said, are you available for the promotion ceremony? I was like, yeah, why are you having a ceremony like 6 months later, 7 months beyond? I thought it was already a done deal. I didn't know that it wasn't official until then. And like I said, I was tied up on another scheduling conflict. But therefore, congratulations to him. I remember when he used to work security. I remember when I was in the Army, when he went through the academy, and then growing to becoming, when I graduated from the academy and started looking for my first job, he was being promoted to sergeant. So he was already a step above while I was getting started. And then watching him come after 30 some years at the same location, working in law enforcement, to becoming an admin. There you go. Shout out to him. Shout out to you. I know that's a dream come true. Wanted to get that feature out there again because so many wonderful things are going on. You surround yourself with good people. Iron sharpens iron, and then you come up with ideas, and you have you nurture and foster those ideas. And of some of those ideas, I'm telling you, this wasn't easy to do. No shade, all light, and that this is going back pre-COVID. This is going back 2018, and the idea was planted maybe 2016, where we had the idea. We did a couple conventions where we were selling different kinds of products, and we were at a vendor table, and just giving out free quotes with anytime someone would buy something. We had a card that had a free quote on it that we came up with, and this, while the ceremony was going on, the four of us had a conversation like we could easily come up with a book. And this is before I actually had a book publishing company, and I've always wanted to write a book, and I was like, yeah, this will be a fun process to learn. Maybe even if we don't ever publish the book, it'll be fun just to have to go through, see how far we can go, brainstorm this, and then you get to one level, and then all of a sudden someone learns another, and we all keep, and come to find out we published a book and we didn't even know how. It was right after I published March 4th. We did No Shade All Light, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. It's a very successful book. You got to see Herb Thompson. He's in the video there. You got to see Jason Brown. He's featured in the video as well. Like I said, they're being honored this weekend, so it's nonstop. I'm glad that I could share the platform. I'm glad that I could share a memory. I'm glad that I could share something that's going to live beyond us, as they're being honored this weekend, all three of them. So I appreciate all of that. I appreciate all of you. Therefore, if you have any questions, make sure you guys, I'm going to put the link in the, I would put it in the comment section, so it should be on all platforms. I'll put it in the comment section individually, but I'll make sure it's in the description box. It's on Amazon. You look up No Shade All Light, it'll pop right up. One of the best sellers from many, many years ago. So I appreciate all of you. I hope Lieutenant Stokes is watching. I hope some of the lodge members are watching. They got to see themselves and get their just dues. It's a lot of fun. doing these podcasts. We got to enjoy the Fable. What was your favorite part? We got to talk about the Fables. We got to talk about the stories. We got to talk about the promotion. We got to talk about the real, actual, how it pertains to active duty law enforcement officers today. Is nonstop. This is Black and Blue, the podcast just for you. I didn't have a special guest on here. Again, many things, the ball's still rolling, many gears are turning at the same time. I'm going to still feature, if not give stories, still feature individuals on the show, whether they're law enforcement or first responders, and we're going to get that thing going. All right. No questions, no comments, no answers. I think we're going to conclude the show. Does anyone have any? Let me go ahead. See what I have here. I like to share any things that I can. Oh, we already had those on here. All right, perfect. Sorry, I saw something on here. Yes, got the goofball corner boy, got the passion in the realm there. Got that. All right, cool. I'm just checking all bases. Cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you. I'm your motivational speaker. I'm your host. I'm Coach Clee, the motivational speaker, the empowerment coach of your baker, your favorite baker's favorite baker. I'll be doing an event this weekend. I'll try and get video of that event and post as much as I can on here. Nina, thank you. I appreciate you for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share, all of you. You guys have a safe week. I will be with you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. And I'm going to let the AI take us out right here.
Gather round. Let me tell you what's real. It's the Black and Blue podcast. We got the appeal. Thursdays drop. You know we keep it tight. Clee Tillman, Sergeant B, bringing truth to the light. From the streets to the precinct, we're breaking it down. Law enforcement stories, wearing that badge with a crown. First responders in the mix, knowledge to share, relevant topics. Yeah, we handle it with care.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Black as you is, it's a whole lot of blue still shining through.
I'm not a bad cop.
I never once said you were. It would be real simple if the problem was bad cops. It ain't.